Hey, my name is shawnshawn. I sell art on shawnshawn.co. Today we're going to react to Watch It, Paint It. So this is a channel about painting figurines, little tiny miniatures. So let's check out the channel. All right, so looking at the channel, we have some cartoon kind of characters, digital art here on top with the barrel. So it's very vivid banner art. The only thing I'll say is it has nothing to do with the figurines that's actually on this channel. So I think I would put the actual figurines, maybe a paint canister or something, to show it's more about painting versus digital art. You get really confused because there's no digital art, I don't think, on this channel. It's just all about painting figurines. So a little bit confusing, I think, there. He has a Patreon link, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. So all those channels are kind of going back and forth, but there's no channel. What I would do is just funnel all that social media links and YouTube to one website and sell the figurines painted or the paints or something. So I think that could be a little bit better focus. His logo is called Watch It, Paint It. You can see it's like this little like TV with the play button in there. It's kind of catchy, but the only problem is Watch It, Paint It could be anything. Could be Watch It painting walls, Watch It, Paint It doing paintings, Watch It painting statues, Watch It painting doing figurines, and it's really focused on figurines, and it used to be called the Army Painter, I think. And I think the Army Painter is a way stronger brand name for this channel, so I would switch it to the Army Painter because it's mostly kind of these army style figurines being painted, right? Or you just use your name. But Watch It, Paint It is just very broad base. It's kind of saying like paint a painting, you know, at least that's even more specific than this. It's very broad based. It's like eat for the channel on, you know, desserts. And you're like, no, you're focused on desserts, not eating, you know. So I think it could be a little more, I don't think it's the best channel name. He has an intro video for one of his last things, which I think is pretty good. And his playlists, he has on the top videos. It's always best to do kind of your popular videos and then the videos. So you might want to add that playlist. He has Speed Paint by the Army Painter, Warhammer Army, Age of Sigmar in the Blood Bowl. You might just do Warhammer. I think it's a little simpler. Warhammer 40K. I don't know the difference between the two, but I'm not a Warhammer painter, obviously. He has basing miniatures. Oh, the base on the miniatures. Okay. Painting Marvel United. I think I would just call them Marvel figurines, maybe. Painting Nemesis. You could shorten that to Nemesis, maybe. Creative playlists. Painting Batman. Gotham City Chronicles. I think I would just shown it to Batman. Painting Arcadia Quest, shorts. So I think I might reorder this, have obviously popular uploads first, then maybe the playlist, then the shorts, and then all your playlists, and then creative playlists at the very bottom, I think. I think that might be a better homepage layout. Let's go to the first video. It is called Painting an Entire Miniature Using the Army Painter's Speed Paints. There's kind of a logo come up right off the bat.
Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It, Paint It. In this video we are going to be painting up an ultramarine. Now guys, I cannot see in these speed paints by Army Painter a blue currently that I would like to paint up. You know, I said ultramarine, I meant a space marine. We are going to be painting up a space marine and I cannot see a...
I really like this camera lens he's using. He's using a prime lens to get that really high focus detail, so it's only like this close. As you can see, I just have kind of a zoom lens, so it doesn't really... It's doing a little bit of that blur effect, but he has even a stronger prime lens, will give you more of a blur effect, like maybe 50mm, 30mm. I'm not sure what he's using, but it's definitely giving that really nice blur effect where it's only focused on the figurine, everything else is kind of blurred out. So you get that really kind of cinematographic look. Let's skip ahead to the painting part.
Using this Blood Red by the Army Painter in their speed paint range. I think it's a similar match to the contrast version, that Blood Angels. As you
see, the weird thing is he has the Army Painter in the background, but then he's calling it Watch It, Paint It. So it's like, if you're the Army Painter, just call yourself the Army Painter.
You can see on this ultramarine, I've not attached his arms or his gun. They're just going to get in the way of his insignia, whatever that thing's called. Is it his insignia? The chest emblem. And I want to be able to paint that up nicely as well. Just a little bit of detail. I often find with speed paint...
I like this banner too going across, like blood red. You're kind of calling out the paint colors in a very kind of really cool looking way.
With contrast with speed painting in general, it's those little details, a little bit of attention to detail, a bit of real paint perhaps at the end, that sort of thing that just spices it up, makes it that look a little bit...
What's that guy?
Va-va-voom.
So that's a common technique in In a video, if you want to spice it up, you add kind of random kind of either B-roll or you just add like random things like that. You're like, what's that? And it'll jar your attention every time and keep you engaged because you'll be like, what's the next weird thing he's going to show, right? So that's kind of a gimmick people use a little bit. Let's skip to a little bit later here.
Keep these suggestions coming. So with the blood red applied all over the marine now, I think we should take a moment to contrast it with contrast paints and have a look how it compares to the contrast marine that I did a couple of years ago now. And I think this speed paint's done an absolutely amazing job. Bear in mind, it is going to be considerably less money. But if we look at the legs in particular, I think the details are popping out on his foot and his shin and around this round bit here. It's sort of impossible to see on the other miniature. It's lighter as well. I think it's popping out the detail well. It's less shiny. I don't remember if I glossed this, but I didn't think I did. So you've got less shine going for it. But you've got to remember this speed paint is going to be considerably cheaper, and it's done.
So one thing I might comment too is he speaks very fast. I speak very fast, so I have the same flaw. But if you're talking and trying to teach someone, you really need to kind of slow it down. Some of the audience is going to be lost speaking that fast like I do or he does. Let's skip ahead a little bit, guys.
I do want to show off some more of these speed paints, but I want to do it from a primer, from a base of silver and get them looking metallic. Obviously, I couldn't spray just these parts in silver, so I'm going to have to apply the paint directly. Just using a brush. I'm going to use my detail brush. This is my Red Grass Games double.
He's using this nice voiceover to go along with it. He's recorded, I think, after the fact, so he just kind of painted it at leisure and just had good focus on that, and then later just recorded it, so you got a nice soft voice with a good sound recording with probably a sound box. Let's go on a little further.
It's just a really nice looking metallic color. It's just going to give the gun two-tone and just make it look that little bit more exciting in his hands. So that's all the metallics painted up. I just want to take a minute look at that. That looks beautiful. I'm not going to do any highlighting or anything like that. Silver's really popping through and it looks absolutely perfect. Compare that to the original that I'm going alongside. It looks identical. It was split seconds.
It's really brighter red.
Now for the next bit, I was going to paint these shoulders. I was going to glue the gun on, but these shoulders are still, like, I want to get under here, so let's keep the arms out of the way. I was going to just paint it black, but let's just take another speed paint for a spin. Not used Grim Black before, but let's try it out. So this is just going to be a case of applying this very carefully because I don't really want it to go on the red, and just quick, thin. I think I'll go for a thin layer, but a smooth layer. I don't want it to pool or anything daft like that. So just as quick as I can around the shoulder pads and getting nice and underneath before the arms are in place. But simple step, and then we'll see once this is dry how the Grim Black, the black speed paint, looks for the first time. So I think that black has taken pretty well. There was a bit of a dilemma.
I think it's a really good explanation, kind of paints each layer, explains it as he goes along to see, you know, how each paint works. Let's skip ahead a little bit more, guys.
Slightly off white brown, and it's going to look perfect with these. I don't know what they are. I'm sure these are purity seals and these are like the scrolls or whatever's attached to the Space Marines, but whatever it is, it wants to look a bit like a scrolly ribbon. So let's apply a thin layer of this, and then that's it. We're done. This was a really quick paint job. It's ridiculously quick. It's actually going to take me more time now to go away, apply some decals and the base, but I'm going to do that. I'll do it off camera because you all know what that's like, and if you don't, videos are already.
And let's get to the final one.
And you could do that and take it to the next level. Love to know if you think that would be worth it, or if you just need to smack out 100 Marines, something like that. Anyway, guys, thank you all ever so much for watching.
Definitely very cool. I like how he has this rotating base, which is a really cool effect. Really advanced kind of photography. You have kind of a spinning thing. It's probably very cheap to buy, but it looks really cool because you can't really see where the base is connected to the wire. That's all underneath the surface. He's cut a hole out. He's put that spinning thing on there. He has this nice kind of blurred, weird background with he's obviously getting with the prime lens again to get that really nice zoom out effect. So really nice cinematography kind of skills here to really pop up the video. All right, let's get to the next video. This one is called Guess What the Army Painter Have Done. Should be has done, but.
Is logo going again? Watch it.
Hey everyone, welcome.
So I would skip the part where he sits down and everything, just start with a hey. I would make it faster because it's like, get to the point, dude. What's this slow part for?
To rolling up my sleeves. That's mostly what I'm going to do when I wear a jumper. It's a thing. It's kind of my jam. Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. In this video I want to talk about a little secret the Army Painter have been keeping from us all. Now I say from us all because I myself, Mike, the entire paint development team did not know about this, and I assume most of you out there did not know either. So we didn't know about this when we were asked to join the paint development team, after we'd signed joining the paint development team, and after we'd signed the...
As far as the background, I kind of like he has all the games you would use all the figurines with, but on the other hand, he paints the figurines as the main thing, so I would probably have the figurines in the background, maybe larger versions, so you could kind of see those details versus the games. The games make a good backdrop, I think, but probably mix it up with a little bit of the figurines in the background, I think would make more sense for me. Let's skip to where he starts to paint.
Speed paint, we're going to start with the new silver. They haven't got names yet, so they do have names, I just don't know them yet, and they're not printed on the bottle, so good luck to remembering what they are. But we're just going to see how it applies to the Necron, and it's fairly similar to any of the speed paints so far. Now, do remember, as I mentioned, these are prototypes, so the flow's not being balanced or anything like that. It's not going on quite right compared to the production speed paints we're used to, but it's not going on badly. You're getting a nice feel for it. It goes on thick and fast, and you're very much only going to need one layer. Next, we'll test the gold, just see how that goes on. As I thought I demonstrated coming out of the bottle in case that's of any use to anybody, but just like speed paint. And then it goes on, and you can instantly see the sort of metallic spark.
All right, let's skip ahead a little bit. Again, really good with that zoom, really nice lighting, very simple background. Nothing too complex. Let's get to another stage.
The post, and it's held up its end of the bargain. I think this is a very, very, very fast way of painting metals. We will compare it to the experiment we did last year, where this is a silver primed miniature.
I think last year looks better.
Something like Grave Lord Grey. It's a very different effect, isn't it? It's not as sparkly. It's very shiny, though. It's very much like, almost like plate metal, like a sheet of metal, isn't it, as opposed to the glisten.
Let's skip ahead a little bit more.
Gold is painful. Every gold I've ever used is relatively painful to paint, and this speed paint was not. This was the easiest gold I've ever painted, and it may be quite different to putting silver and then speed paint on top, but it was much easier than having to do 2 layers, and it was just actually fantastic. I think it would be my default gold. I'll use this all the time. I think it was just better than using any gold out of a pot. I may still find times I want to spray silver on and then apply contrast.
All right, let's skip ahead a little bit, guys.
Effect that has. So let's go do that. So we've done exactly that. Now over the next few clips, you're going to see speed paint on matte white on the left, speed paint on silver, Army Painter's color primer.
So I think he's just comparing the paints in this whole video. It's not really much painting.
Gray on the right. And
but you can see the quality of this paint.
The first thing I noticed is we've
really
got
good
the
way to
shine
test
back
it.
in the middle entry. It's a little bit darker because the base coat, the primer, is dark, so that's made it a darker gray, but it's given it that shine. The gold's exactly the same. It's shiny, and just like the silver, you've got that more realistic color of, I mean, there's all sorts of silvers and golds, but I really like both the silver and gold now on this silver primer.
Skip ahead a little bit more, guys.
Darker than that matte white, adding some secret contrast, and I think you can see that here. The contrast's a lot stronger than in some of the test models. I wanted to just make sure I wasn't imagining it, and I grabbed another one. This time I primed it in Army Painter matte black and then dry brushed up to white,
cool
just
look.
using slap chop. There's videos on the channel about
I should get one of these for my paintings.
Unfamiliar with that technique, but basically
cool.
darkening down the recesses and giving some bonus contrast. You can clearly see it on the shamrock green there that it's
Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Seen in this video, as well as, guys, these are only 3 colors. They're going to make some more. Let's speculate. What colors do you think they'll make in metallics, and what would you like to see? Guys, that's everything for this video.
And then he's going to end it with a headshot. I think that's good. He starts with the headshot, ends with a headshot. I think that's really strong. I start these videos obviously with a headshot, so I think it's very strong. He could do a lot closer. Like, I'm really close to the camera. You can see he's way farther away. So let's kind of debate what you like. Where he's positioned, you can see his hands, which is very important to kind of communicate better. If you don't show your hands, then people don't know what's going on. It looks like you're kind of pretending to be someone. While you have your hands in the camera, it looks more realistic. So I think he's doing that well. I don't know if I'd have a coffee mug here, but again, I like the background, but it's kind of a little bit busy. I would maybe simplify, add some figures in there. Okay, let's go to the next video. It's called Slap Chop, more like Crap Chop.
That's the logo again, very nice. Very, very slow intro. That's too bad. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, sit down and everything. Editing the camera off camera. Oh, that goes off camera.
Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. In this video, well, you're going to see my face. Now guys, let me know in the comments below if you actually like seeing my face, dislike seeing my face, or if you're indifferent. It takes a lot of effort to make content with me actually in it. I have to, you know, sit in a different room.
Oh no, that's a challenge. You should see when you do paintings, you have to set the camera up 3 or 4 times. I think I like the headshot. I recommend having a headshot to any video. I think it makes a stronger sale. You got more of a personality connection with the actual artist that's doing the painting versus just generically painting. It's a little bit generic, so to say. This is more personal. You make a stronger bond with the audience. Let's skip ahead to what he's painting.
All those folds of fat under his little bit of clothes, under his arms, that sort of thing. So I'm going to try and hit it sort of from above downwards, making sure all the
really
just
cool
like anywhere light
here
is
with the
hitting
figurine.
is where I would like this grey to apply. And to do so, I'm using a mid grey here. It's Dungeon Grey by the Army Painter, and I'm just
Nice
using this is their
again.
small dry brush as well, their Masterclass one. I think it works pretty well, so that's what I'm going to use here. I'm using a small because it's quite a small miniature, and I want to make sure I can get to like every single raised little bit on this one. Because it's so small, it's going to matter how much I can actually highlight up.
All right, so that's a cool effect. Let's get to the next section here.
Look nice if you want them looking a bit more flesh-like, or purple was one I contemplated as well. Green if you want to make them look maybe a bit poisony, but I think yellow, I'm going for like that pus look. I think it looks disgusting, and I like how it often looks in boils, and it's how I would paint my pox walkers and things like that. So yeah, bit of yellow all over these boils.
He's definitely got some acne issues.
So with the yellow fully applied now, all those boils popping out, I've already noticed a couple of things doing this different technique. One, the boils are a lot easier actually to see on the bright white miniature. They pop out, even though the detail's more highlighted on.
That's a cool, I like that compare contrast. Let's go to this part.
I'm going to use a slightly bigger brush to do this, but I'm going to try and avoid catching any of those boils that I've already done. Remember, this is speed paint, so there is that little risk of reactivation, and yellow is one of the ones that I've found has done it in a few test samples I've done in the past, but it shouldn't matter too much. It will hopefully just reactivate in the recesses anyway, which who cares if a bit of yellow mixes with this skin tone. It shouldn't matter too much, but let's hope I don't eat my words in a minute when we see the finished product. Anyway, go around both of the miniatures and paint.
Yeah, so that's a really nice colorization for the skin color. Skip ahead a little bit more.
Yeah, just flow all over the material that we can see, and that's it. This will be a little quick job. These two paint jobs are looking so different now. It's unbelievable. I don't know which I prefer. I don't know which you prefer. I would love to know by the end in the comments below which you would choose. But for the next bit, I'm going to use a little bit of a hardened leather, and this zombie's got a load of pieces of splinters of wood sticking and protruding out of his body. So I'm going to just take my small brush, slap a little bit of that on any of
take the
those
wood out, man.
pieces of wood that have been left in his...
All right, let's skip ahead a little bit, guys.
Now, guys, that is my first ever attempt at Slappy Choppy, and I think it went okay. I'm not blown away. I heard great things about Slap Chop, and I was actually expecting, you know, the first time I ever tried.
Again, he has this really nice spin dial that moves the characters around really slow. Really nice prime lens to get this faded background blurred out. Got a really nice, interesting light source that's kind of like this really dispersed lighting effect. It's not just one light source, it's kind of something behind this uneven glass or something that made it plastic to make it kind of shimmer out. It's with the blur effect, looks really cool. Let's skip ahead a little bit more.
To the same issue, she gave it a go the first time, and she just wasn't that impressed with the outcome compared to how she would normally paint. Then she tried airbrushing, she tried grade sharp, she tried different versions of this, trying to get a better result. So I will link in the description below to her video. I would advise, if you're interested in this, go and check that out and see what she does, what she attempts, because it's basically what I was going to talk more about in this video, but she's covered it, and I think she covered it well. So it's
I'm not sure about that font. It sticks out.
So I am terrible at letting sleeping dogs lay, and I wanted one more crack at this Slap Chop. This time I took another miniature, again matte black primed, and instead of that mid grey, I went for a much lighter grey. This time I used Army Painter's Ulfi Cape, and it's a lighter grey. It's more white in it.
Again, nice heavily.
Let's skip ahead a little bit to the end.
Speed paint, which do you think costs more time or saves time? And then finally, doesn't matter if you like mine, are you guys going to go and attempt this yourselves? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you all ever so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Prime lens, actually.
So the weird thing about this is this doesn't funnel down to a website, which is like, why would you have this unless you're going to sell the paint or you're going to sell the figures? It's just a lot of money left on the table, I think, in this point. You could have sold all these figurines off with the videos because you're getting 33,000. You got 33,000 subscribers. You probably could easily sell a few hundred of those to probably the fan base that are really lazy, doesn't really want to paint. But I don't know, some people just like to watch this and probably learn. Probably I think that would be the majority of the case, but maybe there's a market as well to sell the painted figurines. I think there would be. I think I would add that. You could also add, I think, and he doesn't have a link to the paints itself. He could put that as affiliate links, make some money there. So he could add a little bit more there, I think, to add as far as a website to sell the paints or sell his artwork. So I think he could add a little bit more to this to buff up this channel and make it a little more profitable. Overall, I think it's an excellent quality as far as painting and the video quality. If you'd like to subscribe to my next video, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you on the next Artist React. Thanks, guys.